Hi everyone, it's January the 19th, 2011, and I'd like to welcome you to Let Love Speak. My name is Jacqueline Snyder, and this is my blog video series. It's a weekly series that I put out on Wednesdays that helps you get to know yourself better and to listen to your inner voice. So today I'm talking about healthy coping mechanisms and how you can take unhealthy ones and transform them into healthy ones. Anything else in life, if you really want to do something, you have to decide, somewhere in your head, you have to know that you really want to do it. It can't be you can't just say, oh yeah, I know I want to do this, but just tonight or just for a week I'll try it or whatever. When you make a decision about something, you need to be firmly behind your decision for the ultimate action to come true. So say for instance you decide that you want to get a promotion in your job. Well, you're going to work really hard. You're going to make sure that you fulfill all your promises to your boss, to your coworkers, and then you're going to go out and you're going to ask your boss and say, I've been doing a really great job. I think I deserve a promotion, right? But first you've got to do all that hard work. Then the promotion comes. You can't just sit around, come in late, not take your job seriously, and then go in and ask your boss for a promotion, because I guarantee you it's not going to happen. It's the same thing with getting rid of unhealthy, unwanted behaviors that you really don't want to reinforce in yourself. And everybody can do this. Lots of people make excuses as to why they can't get rid of one of their old unhealthy habits, but that's because they haven't made the decision to really go through with it yet. And so they come up with different excuses to keep doing whatever unhealthy behavior they're doing. A perfect example is the ad on TV, the commercial. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a couple, a man and a woman, sitting in a vet's waiting room, and they're chatting away, and the woman says, I don't want to pay checking fees or check fees anymore. And you see this receptionist, she peers over the side of the desk and she says, then don't pay checking fees anymore. Then she goes back to her work, and the woman just sits there and looks at her, and then you see, the logo and everything for ING pan in, and them saying that they have accounts with no checking fees. This is a great example because, first of all, you have to not want to pay those checking fees anymore. And you have to say it, not just to yourself, but often to other people, I don't want to do this anymore. And then sometimes you need somebody to say, well, then just don't do it anymore. It seems obvious, but sometimes we really don't get it, And you need some kind of an alternative. In her case, ING was saying, well, if you don't want to pay them anymore, then switch over to us. Okay, you don't have to switch over to ING. There might be other solutions. But the whole point is that if you decide to stop doing something, say smoking for instance, first you have to have the intention of seriously not wanting to smoke anymore. You have to talk about it and you have to decide. Just like the woman in the commercial, you need to talk to people who are important to you in your life and say, I don't want to be doing this anymore. And then, if you say it out loud, often solutions will present themselves. In this case, the receptionist said, well, just don't do it. I'm sure she would have gone on to say, I have an ING account. But in your case, if you want to stop smoking, well, then you have to think, well, how can I stop smoking? When do you usually smoke? You smoke after your coffee in the morning. You smoke after your lunch. Hot meals are guaranteed. You always go smoke after a meal. You like to smoke when you drink or after you have a drink or whatever. Well, you have to set it up so that you don't do the same things. Like, for instance, when you go have your morning coffee, don't go outside. Don't go outside with your buddies and chat and watch them all smoke and everything, because for sure they'll offer you a cigarette and it'll be difficult for you to refuse, right? You'll think, oh, well, it's just this one time. Yeah, but that's not it. Once you make a decision to yourself and you say, I'm not going to do this anymore, as soon as you break that promise to yourself, you got to start all over again. So it's really, don't break the promise. Don't go out. Stay in for your coffee. If you always go out and have a cigarette after lunch, bring your lunch to your desk and don't leave. You are capable of doing these things. We're all capable of doing these things. We're all capable of making promises to ourselves and keeping them. Whether we do or not is another thing. But like I said, if the intention is there, absolutely you can do it. And making excuses for not doing it is a way of not actually making the decision. For instance, sometimes you hear people say, oh, well, if I don't go out and smoke with my friends, they'll be so offended and they won't be my friends anymore. Well, let me tell you, if your friends expect you to smoke to stay their friend, they're not very good friends. It's the same thing. If all your buddies go out and drink, and so if you don't drink, they don't want you there, they're not really good buddies. And sometimes you do have to lose certain things to gain other things. And sometimes you have to give up friends, behaviors, even jobs occasionally to stop getting into situations that you don't want to be in anymore. And so, what you're doing is you're making this decision for yourself. You're not making this decision for your friends, and you shouldn't let them dictate what you do or you don't do, or what you put into your body or what you don't put into your body. This is about you. This isn't about them. And so, take the time to make this decision for you, and I wish you all really good luck with sticking with your New Year's resolutions or with promises that you make with yourself, and slowly getting rid of those unhealthy behaviors that maybe aren't good for you and for the people around you in your life. Next week I'll be back with more. I'm going to talk about why it's so important to change unhealthy behaviors for healthy ones, and what benefits that gives you as an individual in a number of different areas of your life. So have a wonderful weekend, wonderful week everyone, and I'll see you next Wednesday at Let Love Speak.